Matthew?
So, Matthew Lee, Inner City Press, on behalf of the Free UN Coalition for Access. Thanks a lot for all four of you being here for the briefing. I wanted to ask, I heard after, or in the middle of it being agreed to yesterday, both Bangladesh and Mexico spoke about the omission of migrants or migration status from paragraph 19, as well as age. I know a lot of NGOs also were upset about that. Can you say how that came about? I saw a draft where it was in and then it wasn't in. How did that come about? And also there was a lot of, the G77 seemed to say that the small island developing states not being part of goal 13B was somehow a technical error, or is that the case? How is the issue of the small island developing states and climate change going to be addressed going forward? Thanks.
I'll take the first point. Well, I mean, obviously, various drafts go backwards and forwards, and in paragraph 19, there's actually quite good language there, which in fact is drawn from the Rio document, and it has a list of, as you can see, various categories. In fact, migrants are covered elsewhere in the document, and older persons are also covered elsewhere. So that I come back to the point I made earlier, that if you look at the document in the round, all constituencies are covered. But inevitably, one is trying to cover a large number of countries, groups in reaching formulations like this. You have to find language which will appeal to, which will attract consensus, as simple as that. And that was language around which consensus was eventually built. Different people can have different approaches to the same paragraph, but basically the real language is what we all congregated around, knowing that the other issues you mentioned are in fact covered elsewhere.
Yes, indeed. And just for the record, we have 14 mentions of migration in the document elsewhere. So it's not like, in fact, it's one of the most highly represented issue in this document. So the fact that we may have not included it one more time in one more paragraph, I don't think should be construed as not having any commitment towards migration. Secondly, the SIDS issue, this is a matter that really kind of was a hangover, if you will, from the OWG process. The OWG process was a highly technical process because we were dealing with goals and targets. And in the midst of that debate and towards the closing of that debate, we had misinterpretations that may have transpired in how we were going to characterize some of these technical issues. This is a matter that is, in our view, deserves consideration in light of the dynamics of not our process, but the OWG process. And we hope that it will be resolved in that manner. Thank you.
James?